Hello students, welcome to my third class on software project management. Today we are going to discuss about the principles of conventional software engineering. The first principle, make quality number one. Quality must be quantified and mechanisms put into place to motivate its achievement. High quality software is possible. Techniques that have been demonstrated to increase quality include involving the customer, prototyping, simplifying design, conducting inspections, and hiring the best people. Give products to customer early. No matter how hard you try to learn user needs during the requirements, the most effective way to determine real needs is to give users a product, let them play with it. Determine the problem before writing the requirements. When faced with what they believe is a problem, most engineers rush to offer a solution before you try to solve a problem. Be sure to explore all the alternatives and does not blinded by the obvious solution. Evaluate design alternatives. After the requirements are agreed upon, you must examine a variety of architectures and algorithms. You certainly do not want to use architecture because it was used in the requirements specification. Use an appropriate process model. Each project must select a process that makes the most sense for that project on the basis of corporate culture. Willing to take risks. Application area. Violately of requirements and the extent to which requirements are well understood. Our different languages for different phases. Our industry eternal thirst for simple solutions to complex problems has driven many to declare the most development method is one that uses the same notation throughout the life cycle. Minimize the intellectual distance. To minimize intellectual distance, the software's structure should be as close as possible to the real world structure. Put the techniques before tools. An undisciplined software engineer with a tool becomes a dangerous undisciplined software engineer. Get it right before you make it faster. It is far easier to make a working program runs faster than it is to make a fast program work. Don't worry about optimization during initial coding. Inspect code. Inspecting the detailed design and code is a much better way to find errors than testing. Good management is more important than technology. Good management motivates people to do their best, but there are no universal right styles of management. People are the key to success. Highly skilled people with appropriate experience, talent, and training are the key. Just because everybody is doing something does not make it right for you. It may be right, but you must carefully assess its applicability to your environment. Take responsibility. When a bridge collapses, we ask, what did the engineers do wrong? Even when software fails, we rarely ask this. This fact is that in any engineering discipline, the best methods can be used to product awful designs, and the most adequate methods to produce elegant designs. Understood the customer priorities. It is possible the customer would tolerate 90% of the functionality and delivered late if they could have 10% of it on time. The more they see, the more they need. The more functionality you provide a user, the more functionality the answer wants. Plan through to throw one away. One of the most important critical success factors is whether or not a product is entirely new. Such brand new applications, architectures, interfaces, or algorithmically rarely works the first time. Design for change. The architectures, components, and specification techniques you use most accommodate change. Design without documentation is not a design. I often have heard software engineers say, I have finished the design. All that left is the documentation. Use tools, but be realistic. Software tools make their users more efficient. Avoid tricks. Many programmers love to create programmers with tricks constructs that perform a function correctly but in an obscure way. Show the world how smart you are by avoiding tricky code. Encapsulate. Information hiding is a simple, proven concept that results in software that is easier to test and much easier to maintain. Use coupling and cohesion. Coupling and cohesion are the best ways to measure software inherent maintainability and adaptability. Use the McCable complexity measure. Although there are metrics available to report the inherent complexity of the software, none is the initiative and easy to use as Tom McCabe's. Don't test your own software. Software developers should never be the primary testers of their own software. Analyze, cause for errors. It is far more cost effective to reduce the effect of an error by preventing it than to find and fix it. One way to do this to analyze the causes of errors as they are detected. Realize that software entropy increases. Any software system that undergoes continuous change will grow in complexity and will become more and more diagnosed. People and time are interchangeable. Measuring project solely by person months takes little sense. Expect excellence. Your employees will do much better if you have high expectations for them. The principles of modern software engineering. Base the process on an architecture first approach. This requires that a demonstrable balance be achieved among the driving requirements, the architecturally significant design decisions, and the life cycle plans before the resources are committed for full scale development. Establish the iterative life cycle process that confronts risk early. With today's sophisticated software systems, it is not possible to define the entire problem, design the entire solution, build the software, and then test the end product in a sequence. Instead, an iterative process that refines the problem understanding, an effective solution, and an effective plan over several iterations encourages a balanced treatment of all stakeholder objectives. Major risks must be addressed early to increase predictability and avoid expensive downstream scrap and rework. Transition design methods to emphasize component based development. Moving from a line of code mentality to component based mentality is necessary to reduce the amount of human generated source code and custom development. Establish a change management environment. The dynamics of iterative development, including concurrent workflows by different teams working on shared artifacts, necessities objectively controlled baselines. Enhance change freedom through tools that support round trip engineering. Round trip engineering is the environment support necessary to automate and synchronize engineering information in different formats such as requirements specifications, design models, source code, executable code, and test cases. Capture design artifacts in rigorous model based notation. A model based approach supports the evaluation of semantically rich, graphical, and textual design notations. Instrument the process for objective quality control and progress assessment. Life cycle assessment of the progress and the quality of all intermediate products must be integrated into the process. Use a demonstration based approach to assess intermediate artifacts. Plan intermediate release in groups of usage scenarios with evolving levels of detail. It is essential that the software management process drive toward early and continuous demonstrations with the operational context of the system, namely its use cases. Establish a configurable process that is economically scalable. No single process is suitable for all software developments. Transitioning to iterative process. Modern software development processes have moved away from conventional waterfall model in which each stage of the development process is dependent on completion of the previous stage. The economic benefits inherent in transitioning from the conventional waterfall model to an iterative development process are significant but difficult to quantify. As one benchmark of the expected economic impact of the process improvement, consider the process exponent parameters of coconut. This exponent can range. The parameters that governs the value of the process exponent are application precedentness, process flexibility, architecture risk resolution, team cohesion, and software process maturity. The following paragraphs maps the process exponent parameters of COCOMO 2 to my top 10 principles of the modern process. Application precedentedness. Domain experience is a critical factor in understanding how to plan and execute a software development project. For unprecedented systems, one of the key goals is to confront risks and establish early precedents. Even if they are incomplete or experimental, this is one of the primary reasons that software industry has moved to an iterative life cycle process. Early interactions in the life cycle establish precedents from which the product, the process, and the plans can be celebrated evolving levels of detail. Process flexibility. Development of modern software is characterized by such a broad solution space and so many interrelated concerns that there is a paramount need for continuous intercorporation of changes. These changes may be inherent in the problem understanding, the solution space, or the plans. Project artifacts must be supported by efficient change management commensurate with project needs. A configurable process that allows a common framework to be adapted across a range of projects is necessary to achieve software return on investment. Architecture risk resolution. Architecture first development is a crucial theme underlying a successful iterative development process. A project team develops and stabilizes architecture before developing all the components that make up the entire suite of applications components. An architecture first and component based development approach forces the infrastructure common mechanisms and control mechanisms to be elaborated early in the life cycle and drive all component make by decisions into the architecture process. Team cohesion. Successful teams are cohesive and cohesive teams are successful. Successful teams and cohesive teams share common objectives and priorities. Advances in the technology such as programming languages, UML, and visual modeling have enabled more rigorous and understandable notations for communicating software engineering information, particularly in the requirements and based formats, have also enabled the round trip engineering support needed to establish change freedom sufficient for evolving design representations. Software process maturity. The Software Engineering Institute Capability Maturity Model is well accepted benchmark for software process assessment. One of the key themes is that truly mature processes are enabled through an integrated environment that provides the appropriate level of automation to instrument the process for objective quality control. Life cycle phases. Characteristics of successful software development process is the well-defined separation between research and development activities and production activities. Most unsuccessful project exhibits one of the following characteristics: an overemphasis on research and development, an overemphasis on production. Successful modern projects and even successful projects developed under the conventional process tend to have a very well defined project milestone when there is a noticeable transition from research attitude to a production attitude. Earlier phases focus on achieving functionality. Later phases revolve around achieving a product that can be shipped to a customer with explicit attention to robustness, performance, and finish. A modern software development process must be defined to support the following: evolution of the plans, requirements, and architecture together with well-defined synchronization points, risk management, and objective measures of progress and quality. Evolution of system capabilities through demonstration of increasing functionality. Engineering and production stages. To achieve economies of scale and higher returns on investment, we must move toward a software manufacturing process driven by technology improvement in process automation and component based development. Two stages of the development life cycle are the engineering stage and the production stage. The engineering stage is driven by less predictable but smaller teams doing design and synthesis activities. The production stage driven by more predictable but larger teams doing construction, test, and deployment activities. The transition between engineering and production is a crucial event for the various stakeholders. The production plan have been agreed upon and there is a good enough understanding of the problem and the solution that all stakeholders can make a firm commitment to go ahead with production. Engineering stage is decomposed into two distinct phases: interception and elaboration, and the production stage into construction and transition. These four phases of life cycle are loosely mapped to the conceptual framework of spiral model. Inception phase. The overriding goal of inception phase is to achieve concurrence among stakeholders and the life cycle objectives for the project. Primary objectives: establishing the project's software scope and boundary conditions, including an operational concept acceptance criteria and a clear understanding of what is and is not intended to be in the product. Discriminating the critical use cases of the system and primary scenarios of operation that will drive the major design trade-offs. Demonstrating at least one candidate architecture against some of the primary scenarios. Estimating the cost and schedule for the entire project, including the detailed estimations for elaborating phase. Estimating the potential risks. Essential activities. Formulating the scope of the project. The information repository should be sufficient to define the problem space and derive the acceptance criteria for end the product. Synthesizing the architecture, an information repository is created that is sufficient to demonstrate the feasibility of at least one candidate architecture and an initial baseline of decisions so that the cost, schedule, and resource estimates can be derived. Planning and preparing a business case. Alternative for risk management, staffing, iteration plans, and cost, schedule, profitability trade-offs are evaluated. Primary evaluation criteria. Do all stakeholders concur on the scope definition and cost and schedule estimates? Are requirements understood as evidenced by the fidelity of the criteria critical use cases? Are the cost and schedule estimates, priorities, risks, and development process credible? Do the depth and breadth of an architecture prototype demonstrate the preceding criteria? The primary value of prototyping candidate architecture is to provide a vehicle for understanding the scope and assessing credibility of the development group in solving the particular technical problem. Are actual resource expenditure versus planned expenditures acceptable? Elaboration phase. At the end of this phase, the engineering is considered complete. The elaboration phase activities must ensure that the architecture requirements and plans are stable enough and the risk sufficiently mitigated that the cost and schedule for the completion of the development can be predicted within an acceptable range. During the elaboration phase, An executable architecture prototype is built in one or more interactions, depending on the scope, size, and risk. Primary objectives: baselining the architecture as rapidly as practical, baselining the vision, baselining the high fidelity plan for the construction phase, demonstrating that the baseline architecture will support the vision at reasonable cost in a reasonable time. Essential activities: elaborating the vision, elaborating the process and infrastructure, elaborating the architecture and selecting components. Primary evaluation criteria: is the vision stable? Is the architecture stable? That the executable demonstration shows that the major risk elements have been addressed and credibly resolved. Is the construction phase plan of sufficient fidelity, and is it backed up with credible basis of estimates? Do all stakeholders agree that current vision can be met if the current plan executed to develop the complete system in the context of concurrent architecture? Are actual resource expenditure versus planned expenditures acceptable?